Hello everyone, it's Norm, and this is my 2024 Valentine window display, and I hope you enjoy it. This year I decided to show off a collection of vintage Valentine candy heart boxes I've been collecting over many years. You just don't find these boxes anymore anywhere. And most of these we picked up were in thrift stores and antique shops. And the last few years I've noticed that they're getting fewer and far between, and if you do find them, they're a lot more money than what I paid for these. But at any rate, I've got more in the house that are going to be shown in Peggy's displays. My favorite one is that purple one down in the lower right-hand corner. I just like all the ribbon on it, and I think it's really, really elaborate. I have a couple pink ones in there that are that same style, and it really is nice. But they're all nice in their own ways. Let me move in now a little closer. This is February 8th, and it's 40 degrees outside in Minnesota. It was 50 degrees today, and we still do not have any snow on the ground. We should have 3 feet or more of snow. Today it was a rainy day, and if you hear that howling, that's the wind. I'm on the east side of the house, and the wind's from the west, so I'm protected. But it was a very, very rainy day, and we really needed that. Well, let's move in closer and see what we have here. Peggy's little cherubs that she's been collecting, and there several of them more are in the house, of course. She's got a whole bunch of them. She's got a whole bunch of everything, doesn't she? I think you're all nodding your head yes, because you've been watching Peggy's videos over the years and you've seen what all she's collected. So it's that's fine. I like having her being able to get whatever she wants when we can. And again, here that purple one is really, really elaborate. There's a pink one up here that's a little not quite as stunning, but yet it's very nice in its own way. And then of course we got this big one in the middle here that is very shiny. And then I move over here a little more in the back wall there. I like this yellow one. I like that. And then I put a little tiny one down there. And then there's a coffee cup here. And down here is a larger one with a gold border around it. And that's pretty fancy with all those ribbons and the flowers on them. And of course we got some doves in the back, a little cherub holding up a pot there that Peggy put some flowers in for me to dress that up a little bit. And this dude over here is holding a bear, teddy bear. And then I've got this honeycomb heart. I've got several of these, and they're vintage. And then Peggy used our printer, and she printed out a bunch of little Valentines. She got all kinds of them on the refrigerator. You'll see in a little bit later. But these are, I just added them in right now. I'm depending on you to be my Valentine. And there's a cat back there. And over on the opposite wall, I've got a string of roses up here just to decorate the edge. Is a Tin Man and Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz. Come with me and be my Valentine. Got a couple kids here driving a car that says let's go together. And another honeycomb Valentine display. I've started picking up some of these honeycomb ones. I found them now for Thanksgiving, a few Christmas. So I'm going to try to pick up as many of those as I can find. And this one down here is a little dark. It says Valentine greeting, and it's got a little Cupid with a, let me see if I can zoom in on that. She's got a stick on her shoulder and a heart. And that's kind of a cool one. It's in good shape. They're really in good shape, the honeycomb portions. And then Peggy's found a bunch of these hearts. Actually, they came from Hobby Lobby. They're not vintage at all. But they're just strewn around to fill in some blank spots. A couple of doves. Another one over here. Peggy's got a couple glass candy dishes she's loaning me. This is a very pretty ceramic girl with a golden cream heart she's holding. Gold-toed shoe too. Wow, pretty fancy gal there. So I hope you're enjoying this. I have Waldo in here somewhere. He's hiding it. He's always lurking around. I put him in many of the display windows and even the ones inside the house where Peggy takes her kitchen and dining room and living room and hallway. I'll stick him in little odd places, and everybody'd like to try to find them. So this is the 2024 display window I put together, of course with a little bit of Peggy's help too. Peggy's very helpful in doing it, and I try to help her as much as I can too. We want to wish you a very happy Valentine's and a very safe and healthy 2024. And now we're going to be seeing what Peggy's got inside the house. Thank you very much for watching.
Hi friends and family, welcome to our home again. I hope you're doing well today. It started raining yesterday and today it snowed. So that was a surprise, like 30 degrees and windy. Wow. But that's to be expected in February. We did have a very, very nice mild spell there, so we were grateful for that. We hope your weather's been nice, tolerable. Some of you love snow, we know that. So this is what I came up with this year for some Valentine's decor. I know you're going to see some things that I've used before because I still love them. I still want to hang on to them. I really, really like milk glass. So I have used milk glass in previous years for quite a while. I love these little heart dishes. I have 3 of those. There's one more in the living room, and some shallower ones that are more like heart plates. I love those too. I also have some of those in the living room, but these are nice because they were deeper, so they hold some candy. So I have some dark chocolate in the bottom layer for Norm if he wants. I kind of like the strawberry ones once in a while. I just love these. Are my tallest candlesticks. I suppose they call that thumbprint. I'm not gonna try to identify a lot of things today. After looking at this, we can just maybe go up to the top of the stairs, and that will be it for this video. I'm not ready yet for the kitchen or dining room. That's gonna take a little bit longer. I hope I make it by February 14th, but if I don't, I don't. We'll see. So I also had a couple years now, these I thrifted, these little metal cupcake stands, I assume. They really look cute, I think, to elevate the Cupids. So I have done that before in the living room on the round coffee table in there. I've been having so much fun collecting the Cupids and little dove figurines and a lot of tiny things that I have found for the shadow boxes that are real small, little rosy things made in China. I know you've seen me thrift some of them in our thrifting outings. I had this little quilted love plant or flower poke for a couple years now, and you saw Norm use some of those pieces in his window. I just love orange roses. I've purchased lots and lots of pink or red, not white. I tend to like the milk glass and Cupids to be the white, and the doves, of course, too. All the milk glass, yes, it's very wonderful. I did not turn the lights on in the candle votives here that I also thrifted, but I will, just to show you that I did purchase on Amazon a box of, could be at least a dozen, pretty thick votives. I don't know if you can see how high they go. They're much thicker than some of them in height, and they're very, very red, because you probably know too that when you put one of those little normal votives in any red glass, the yellow glow makes the glass look orange, which would have been okay out here. But I'll show you briefly what that looks like when I have the candles on. So why don't I do that right now? Hold on. It's still too hard to pick up how red that is. Really, really red colored light in there. It just wants to glow whitish, but I don't think it looks as orange. So I didn't know if that would be kind of hard for you to look at too long. Norm ran over to Hobby Lobby, which is only just out of our neighborhood. We're pretty lucky to have it so close by. And I guess I had suggested to him, he said, I need a garland for the back of his window, display window. So I quickly looked up and found that there was very nice looking ones at Hobby Lobby. They were $9.99, and they came in this pale pink. And yes, there's probably a kind of a yellowish tint with the pink and the red that he has in his window. And I don't know if it came in white. If it was white, it was kind of an off-white. So I don't care for that. And then a much warmer pink, like closer to my blouse. I should tell you that this is a very beautiful blouse that I was wearing to work, as well as the same one I purchased in royal blue, which is also very pretty, in the 80s. And you can actually see there's shoulder pads in it, which I used to just love. I really did. I thought they were beautiful. So it was just a couple of pieces of clothing that I thought it was worth saving. So I thought that I would share that with you today, that I'm wearing a very retro 80s blouse. Yep, they're pretty cool. And it is made to wear on the outside, as you can see. Either way, very comfortable. So back to this, I guess I'll show you the sweet, sweet little dove figurine here. So pretty. I think I had that last year. It's hard for me to remember which things I unwrapped and which things I had just recently this winter started finding. The Cupids, I probably had both of them last year, and it's very fun. I have lots of these old plastic doilies, and I believe I received them as a gift, these two. They're very special. I had picked them out after we had filmed Up Your Alley Vintage in New Richmond, Wisconsin, but that couple has retired and closed the store, so we do have videos of their wonderful, wonderful retro shop. But they gave me some of the doilies that I had picked out as a gift, probably along with some other very nice things too. They were very, very generous, very sweet couple. We miss seeing them, and we hope they're having a wonderful time being retired. So you saw me thrift this. I can't remember, $5. I just saw it in Hobby Lobby when I was over there again with Norm. I told him I really didn't have enough roses, believe it or not. You know, if you change your decor and you're changing the vases that you're using, it's very possible that you're not going to have something with longer stems on it to go in a particular vase, or you need very tiny ones. So my collection of roses grew again this year, but they were 40% off because it was just yesterday we went and got some. Over here, I tried to think of something, some little thing to do to make it look like February, so all I ended up with was a piece of the garland that Norm used in his window. It was too long, so he cut a piece off. Each end, actually. So that worked out to try to wrap it through this crazy clock. I think that's enough to dress up this area. And I don't know if I showed you this mirror yet. I thrifted it in the summer months. It is so dimensional. I just love it. I've had a lot of very pretty mirrors up here. And there's one behind me that I used to have up here that's metal. Very, very spiky metal and glittery. I just love that one too. But I did move it behind me over the closet doors. So this is what I put in place. It's a good size mirror, but I did thrift that at the Goodwill. I just can't get over. And that's all mirrors in between. Not just the one in the middle, like most of these starburst looking mirrors, but the mirrors go all the way around, as you can see. So I'm in love with that. I was happy to find that at the Goodwill. I have a little old swan wall pocket, I would call it. I've had this displayed in the kitchen over the telephone. I do have a nail there, and I swap out things out there, and so I believe I've shown it possibly even a couple years now. But it's probably a Japan piece. I don't recall seeing any sticker on the back, but it worked well to have some little thing on the door there. There's a couple other heart things I have you've seen before. And I was having fun looking for a old Valentine card for out here. The bottom of this one said "To my Valentine," probably, but we had to cut that off because this is or 11 by 18, I forget. But yeah, this is what I used when I did the little deer picture that was a sweet Christmas card, vintage Christmas card. So you can tell again that this one had some silver metallic paint or glitter on it. I don't know if there would have been gold. I kind of think it was possibly silver. What do you think? But she's pretty sweet, and it is neat that you can still get that effect when you print it out. You have to obviously have a printer that can do 13 by 19, which is the size paper I was using, and then cut it down. So that was pretty sweet and fun to do. Now, there is some things here, of course, that I had last year, but boy, have I had fun looking around. In the Goodwills usually is where I would find these things made in China, but it is bone china, I believe. I hope your February so far has been good. Norm and I usually don't try to go to any restaurant. It's just too busy. We can do that anytime. So we don't typically have plans to go out on Valentine's Day. Do you? Do you have special things you do? I'd love to hear about it. Thank you so much for your sweet comments. I really enjoy, and so does Norm, hearing what you love to collect. This horse is new. I'm sorry, it is a unicorn. But I couldn't resist. He's close enough to a horse to me. So I did just find that this year at the Goodwill near our home here, because we have 2 of them. So you can imagine I stop and check for things like this when the holidays are around. But I do think I found these 2 little guys. Sweet little doves last year. This may be one of 2 that I'm not sure which one is new, but this is cuter. It has 2 little tiny swans on top, or birds of some kind. But anyways, this I showed you last year. It's unusual because of the hole in the center, so I don't really know what you would put in there. Maybe it was meant to be a picture frame. Yes, that's very possible. I don't know if you can see in back there. It is open. There, you can see there's a slit in the back. So maybe you can get a picture in there pretty good. But that was so sweet. I found that a year ago. And this I may have found during the summer months. Really different. Not a unicorn. Beautifully painted with some lavender highlights. Really neat. And I honestly don't know if I showed you these last year, because I may have gotten them in the spring and I had already shown all of the pieces that I had for that Valentine's video. So I don't know if you saw these or not, but aren't they adorable? I think it's this pair that actually, well, it probably was the picture frame that got me hooked on looking for horses, but if I found them, wow, I was really happy, because you know how much I'm into horses, right? Aren't they darling? And I just found this, a very sweet duck, I'm gonna say. Yep, it is a little planter, but I decided not to put anything in it. It was sweet enough just the way it is. I did show you that last year. And I don't know if you saw this. Another unicorn. I didn't think I would ever buy a unicorn, to be honest. But I thought, well, it's pretty fun. Very much like all the other pieces. And I did show you that last year. That's a little vase. Is it? I can't tell. I don't think so. No. And the swan figurine is new. I can't tell you whether that one, the dish is or not. So I was very happy that I could come up with enough pieces to try to balance out this shadow box. You can imagine I walk back and forth from the different shadow boxes we have, trying to figure out which pieces would be best. The vase is new this year. You saw it in a thrifting video at the Goodwill when I purchased some of the other items, like a very open weave basket, a lidded basket that's in the dining area at the moment. And I did just find this guy. It's a bell, and he's pretty fancy porcelain, I would say. Lovely coloring. He didn't quite, match with my animal or vase type theme, but because he's so tiny. Compared to my other Cupids, he's very, very tiny. But I thought, well, I'll try it out, see how it works. And I'm glad I got him. So I hope you like how that turned out. I think it's plenty balanced. I'm sorry my wild fuchsia blouse is in the way. See if I can sneak out of the picture here. So that's what we see when we walk in from the garage. And that's the fancy mirror up there I was talking about. I better get closer so you can see it. I just love it. I did find it at the Goodwill, I think, and it's very glittered, but it's heavy because it's metal. Really sweet. I know I have a fetish for starburst mirrors, but if you're thrifting them, that's good. At the top of the stairs here, I had fun with more, I call them Cupids all the time. Norm said, Cupids have arrows. So I guess I will try harder to call them cherubs. So this is another garland piece that Norm brought home from Hobby Lobby. I could ask him for 2 things and he'll bring me home 4 to 6 because he can't make up his mind, he said. Oh, that's funny, but I found places to use them all, different colors. So up here I decided to use a second one of the pink ones. I've had a lot of fun for many years too, collecting all of these vintage votives. The red ones are so pretty, but it always has been a dilemma for me trying to put a candle, battery, tea light, I should say, in them, because like I said, I don't care for the orange effect that you'd get from a yellow tea light flame. So I was pretty happy to find a whole box full on Amazon of these very, very red flamed tea lights. I found this cute little basket, probably at least 2 years ago. And these are some of the, oops, I didn't get my flower put back in there. That must have looked funny. There you go. Didn't even notice. There's so much stuff on the shelf here. Maybe you didn't notice either. I was trying to turn on all the photos and get ready, so I didn't get that flower put back in there. But I just found this one, and these are 2 more of the cherubs. I'm so happy when I find them, and they are pretty much the same white porcelain, I would say. Not positive, I just don't know how to judge that, but these are very fancy. You can just tell the color is a little creamier. It's not as white, and they're probably smoother. I don't know that there's any identification on the bottom, but I can look in a few minutes here. So I ended up with 2 of these votives, one on each side, and that is an odd one, which tends to be a darker red for some reason on those. I don't know why. And 2 of those that look like owl eyes all the way around. And that's probably my least favorite design, and you find that more often than any of them. Very simple. So that one is your daisy and button design. A lot nicer to find something like that, and I don't find these very often. I've been lucky to find the votives that will fit in a candle holder. To my right on the wall, I do have 2 of those with the flowers, but this is the only one I've ever found that's actually a tabletop, more so. So I hope you like how that turned out. Plenty festive, and of course I wouldn't have these little battery votives going for very long, trying to save on the batteries. The box that I did buy, I can show it to you in a separate clip and let you know. Well, it was surprising when I turned over the cherub on the right up there. It says adult. So it is a Japan angel, not China. Not made in China. And I only paid $2.39 for it in Spicer, Minnesota. Look at that. Way back in 2018. So that shows you how long I've been looking for these. This is the box. LED. But I was wrong. This particular candle set did not come with a remote, but that's okay. It was that I ended up with 2 remotes because I bought 2 boxes of the very white little battery tea lights. But that's what it is by Linker, and you can see they really do have a lot of fun colors. So the flame is tinted like the base of the candle. So up here, I always love taking out my pink birds. And that's a set that has some turquoise on it. These doves, I was so surprised to find them, and they are in a video at Wyoming Family Pathways. I found those at least a year ago. They are so cool. They look like Norcrest type. I'm not sure about that, but these are Norcrest. And the bottom also says the flower for an identification, which is kind of odd, but it just says golden dogwood. So that one didn't have the Norcrest sticker on it, but this one does. Crazy is that I found this one, the small one with the beautiful rhinestone eye, years ago. I did not know that there was a pair or a match. So just last year I found the bigger one, and I don't believe that there would have been a rhinestone eye in his eye, because there's no sign of glue, and they did paint the eye. So I've always thought that pair was very sweet. I really like it. And this was $10 at a small shop. Let's see if there's any identification. Nope. But I thought $10 was very nice. I think pink birds are so pretty, and they just seem so 50s, 60s. I don't know what era that is, but that's how it feels when you see pink things. So here's the glass photos that have the daisies on them. Yeah, I wish they had pink glass ones. Wouldn't that be fun? That would be really neat. And this is more of those fun plastic doilies that I got from Up Your Alley Vintage. Yep, that was so sweet of the couple to give me those. I appreciated it. Over here, I did struggle because I have some lovely vases that I could have put some larger roses and had a taller arrangement there. I typically do kind of a taller arrangement on this table, but this time I decided not to. I'm going to light that candle down there too, the little tea light. But I really do love this beautiful California swan vase, or planter. You probably could call that a planter because it's so big. And I did just get the tiny pink roses and decided to add some more coral ones in there that I had last year. I do really enjoy mixing pink and orange. I just think it all blends together. And this is my tiniest little milk glass heart candy dish. The other ones were a lot bigger, and they just had an open lacier edge on them. This one's quite different. I've never seen another one. It's quite deep. I found this crackle beautiful glass at the Goodwill quite a few years back, and I think I saw one at the antique shop last weekend. And it was only $5. I probably should have gotten it, but I was trying to keep my total expenditure there low. I tried to tell myself I didn't need it, but if it's there sometime, I probably will. I might get it. It's kind of nice having two of the same for the fireplace. I just have odd pieces of red glass like that. They're all different heights. It is kind of hard working with them, trying to come up with any kind of an arrangement. This bird I found a long time ago. It is a German hand-painted piece. It says Bavaria on the bottom. I did thrift it. I couldn't believe the beak was not broken. And I have not broken it yet either myself. So I'm still doing good there. Here's one of the beautiful pink Valentines that Norm did not use. So pretty. He said he liked that purple one out there that had all the folds like this does. But he felt he had enough pink or red ones out there. And he was looking for a certain size too to fit on that wall. I have had these up probably in a previous video, the Miller Studio owls. Had them for many years now. I sure enjoy them. They've been getting around in the house here, but I think they're fine here because I often do enjoy these fancy white bird figurines. My latest find was so exciting to find this owl. And I may have found it after that this shelf fell sideways down to the right, like that and dropped everything down to the stairs. It did break this one. I think there's something I glued on the back of that, but it was salvageable. I think it would be his tail, of course, but it glued very, very nicely, so I wasn't going to get rid of it. I think it's still so pretty. I've thrifted these crazy birds years ago. They were quite reasonable. It seems like they just weren't that popular, and that was so cheap on sale in Hutchinson. I think I only paid a few dollars for that. It's a beautiful piece. Looks like the kind of thing that the bird below is, Bavaria. I don't know why it wouldn't be marked, but anyways, back to this. I think it might have been like $15 in a small antique shop. Such a really pretty owl. I just loved those eyelashes. And they did have one more bird there that I passed up. I didn't want to spend too much that day either. But that other bird was $15 too. Made the same. It might have been something similar to this one. I just don't recall, but I didn't think it was an identical bird. But we'll check it out sometime. It might still be there. You never know. So let me show you the bottom of this. This is what's so surprising. That is so cool to have that on there. So of course I washed it, but I had to be very careful not to lose that sticker. I think he's just so sweet. Yep. So that's all I did. I hope you enjoyed today's tour. I will be working on the kitchen and dining room and the living room. So I don't know which I'll do first, but it could be the living room. I'm further along with that. So I hope you have a beautiful Valentine's Day. Think of all the people that love you on Valentine's Day, including us. You take care now. Have a wonderful week, and I'll see you again soon.